Hey guys, welcome back to Dark Force Gaming with me, Dark Force. Today I'm bringing you something new, so I am, and I'm playing Sins of a Solar Empire Rebellion modded. So today I've got a mod, I've actually had this mod for a good while now, so I have, and I've been playing it a lot. It's called Trek Armada 3, A Call to Arms. It's a total conversion, so it is, of the Sins of a Solar Empire Rebellion universe, and converts it into a total Star Trek universe, so it does. Now, if you aren't familiar with the Star Trek universe, go and check it out right now. It is amazing. I have been hooked on Star Trek since probably before I could actually walk, so I have loved the franchise. I've watched all the movies, probably all the episodes, so I have. It is amazing, so it is. It's one of the best sci-fi thrillers out. That, along with Star Wars, the two are amazing, so they are. So yeah, so this game is a total conversion, so it is. All in the Star Trek universe. It's set in the year 2030 or 2040 or 24 or 2300 or something like that there. So it is. I honestly can't remember, guys. There's so many of them, so there is. But yeah, this mod is so beautiful, so it is. If you guys are looking for this mod after watching this video, I got this on ModDB page, so I did. So a big shout out to those guys on ModDB, and a big shout out to the developers of this game, guys. They're a lone team, so they were doing this here. They didn't do it for profit, so they did this in their spare time. They have made an amazing conversion, so this game is probably good enough to have been a solo game on its own, if they could have done it. They're actually working on a second one as well, guys, so they are set in an earlier period, which I am so excited for. I cannot wait, so I can't. So yeah, big shout out to those guys who did this here. I'm sorry I don't know any of their names. I only actually know one of their names, which is a creator called Gul Dukat. And I only know him because I follow his channel, so I do, on my own personal private YouTube channel, not this Dark Force one. But anyway, enough of that there. Let's get into this and check this thing out, because it is amazing, so it is. Now I have to admit, guys, although I have played over probably 600 hours on this game, and that's the Sins of a Solar Empire Rebellion, for the Armada 3 mod I've probably played about 200 hours, so I have. Total geeky of me, I know, and completely sad. I have no life whatsoever. But I think if you guys got it and you've played it, or even probably from watching this video, you will see why this game is amazing. So it is. It's just one of the best games. Now, I have to admit, although I have played a lot of hours on this, I am actually not that good. So, well, I'm alright. So I'm an okay player. I won't say that I'm amazing in case I go to play this and it is totally terrible, so it is, and I feel horribly at it. But I'm just going to set up a quick game here, guys, of 4 players, so I am. I always play as the Federation. If you don't know the Star Trek universe, there's a lot of races in it, thousands of races, so there is. But the main ones are pretty much the Federations, which is humans and other aliens. They're in a United Federation of Planets, which is an organization which brings planets all together, so it does, in a common goal. The Klingon Empire, which is these guys here, which are pretty much Klingons. They are just a single empire, allied along with Federation. The Romulan Star Empire, which used to be allied with the Klingons. If you follow the history or the lore, you'll know that they were allied with the Klingons, so they were until, I think, around 2260 or something, 2170, I think, maybe. No, 22's ringing a bell, so it is. So 2260s, I believe, the Romulans and the Klingons were allied together, and then they split, so they did. And then at around the end of the 22nd century, the Klingons and the Federation became allies, so they did. And then there's also the Cardassians and a race called the Borg. The Borg are definitely the probably scariest character, or the scariest creation that you will ever come across in any fantasy game. Or any sci-fi universe or anything at all. The Borg are pretty much like a massive hive, so they are. They have a queen, they have drones, they have thousands of ships, tons of resources, so they do. They are a powerhouse, definitely. Even with the AI playing, I have never managed to beat the Borg, so I haven't. I enjoy playing this game to challenge myself, so I do. So I play on hard. Klingons, Romulans, Cardassians, I can beat them all. The Borg, I haven't yet to beat, so I have. I'm trying to get a few of my friends together to come play this with me, but a lot of them aren't actually really into sci-fi, so they're not, and especially not Star Trek, they have no idea how good it is, and I feel like they're definitely losing out. But yeah, if you guys ever have a chance to get this game and play it, oh my god, go and try to defeat the Borg. If you can, I will shake your hand, so I will if I ever meet you. Fair play. I have to admit, I love watching people try to defeat the Borg, especially when they put them on hard or harder. It is hilarious, so it is. But yeah, I always play the Federation, guys. I'm going to throw in a Klingon, I'm going to put a Romulan in, and I'm also going to put a Cardassian in. If you guys want to see me try and defeat the Borg, it'll be a terrible video, so it will. I will probably only last maybe 3-4 episodes before I get killed, pretty much. But let me know, and I will definitely have a go at it, so I will. So I'm going to set this up quickly here. When I play these 4-on-4 matches, guys, I always pick the colours and the flags for each of the races and stuff. I'm a bit nerdish like that, so I am. I like to feel like I'm actually in the universe and playing along with them. Each of the characters has their own, each of the races even, sorry, has their own like unique traits that they go for. Klingons are a very aggressive race, so I'm going to stick them on aggressive. Romulans are very sneaky and into the research, so I'm going to put that on them, so I am. Oh no, that's research there, so it is. And the Cardassians are very, I would say fortifying and aggressive, but unfortunately I can't do both, so I'm going to put the Cardassians on a fortifier. I am playing these guys all on hard, so I am, so this should be interesting, so it should be. The map is set out in a single star system, so it is. So a star in the middle, planets and gases and asteroid fields all around the outside, so it is. If you've played this kind of game before, the Sins of the Solar Empire, you'll know how it works pretty much. I'll explain that when we actually get into the game. Pretty much there's 36 planets, so there is. We'll take a look at them when we get in. I won't be able to see them all, I'll have to explore. But I think that's everything. Let me just check these victory options. They're all turned off, which means pretty much I have to destroy everything, so I do to win this game. This is going to be a Let's Play, guys. This is going to go on for a wee while, so it is. Hopefully it will be interesting. I'll up my rates of income, so I will. I'm not going to up my ship speed. I'm actually going to decrease that, so I am, because although I like this game very much, don't get me wrong, I love it, so I do. I find that it's a bit more realistic if I put the speeds down, so I do on the ships, especially when they're flying through systems. Also makes the game a bit more of a challenge, so it does. I can't just be warping my ships around different systems so I can and engage in battles left, right and centre. I actually have to strategically place my fleet and build defences around certain colonies, so I do, to keep them safe. Oh no, so that was my build speed, so it was ship speeds there. I'm going to turn that down. Research speed I'm turning up as well, make the game go a bit faster. Culture rate I'm just going to leave it normal. Victory speed, just going to leave it normal. Pirates, I'm turning on. Fleet size, normal. All that is just normal, so it is. That's grand. No problem. Let's get into this. Let's get started. See how it goes. Like I said, guys, this game is amazing, so it is. I love it to pieces. The whole Star Trek universe, it is great, so it is. I'm a major fan of it. I've played so many Star Trek games, I've actually lost count. I've wasted so much money on it. Well, I would actually say it was wasted. My family would say it's been wasted. I say it was money well spent, so it was, on different games and buying crystals and gems to upgrade my ships with massive weapons or better shields and hull and faster engines. But apparently everybody else is a total waste. But it is great. The only thing I will say, this loading screen, oh, it kills me sometimes, so it does. I don't know if it's my computer. It's probably the only game that I really have this issue with, is this loading screen. But usually once it gets past the first wee bit, it just flies up straight away, so it does. So I think it's just that first initial loading, so it is, that really kills it. But we'll just wait for this load. I'll probably cut this wee section out, guys, and just jump straight into the game. Actually, it's not even going, it's going pretty fast actually this time, so it is, so I'll just leave it in. Look at that picture, that's a beautiful picture, so it is. That's beautiful. I love this game. I honestly can't explain how much. I'm going to say this 100 times, guys, over and over again. I love this game. It is so good, so it is. The devs in this have done an amazing job. For such a game, to have such detail and graphics in it, it is amazing. I have to admit. They've done so well. The models in this are beautiful, so they are. Whoever made these models in this game, they are very talented, so they are, and I cannot wait to see their next project. If you guys are looking for them, if you just head over to the ModDB page, type in Star Trek Armada 3 called Arms. You can download it so quickly, it installs dead easy, so it does. There's a whole guide, so there is, on how to install it. It's dead easy. So guys, pretty much this is how we start off in this game. I'll zoom all the way out here, so well. You have your star in the middle, so you do. There's actually planets the whole way around this, so there is. I can only see my planet and the ones that it's attached to, so I can. Pretty much, guys, the way this game works is you build ships, you send them out to this planets to scout them, then you send other fleets out to destroy anything that might be there, defending those planets, and then you colonize them. Unfortunately, there are these phase lines, as they're called. In the Star Trek universe, I call them warp lines. So they're the ways that you have to travel. So I have to travel along these lines to get to the certain planets. So I can't just warp around to random planets around the map. I have to follow these lines around, which makes actually for an interesting game to play as well. So it does. There's a wee model there for you to all look at. It's pretty nice. This here is my wee scout class ship, so it is. I could be a total nerd and tell you exactly what this class is called, and even tell you about a ship that this was featured in at one point in the Star Trek series, and what series it was and all, but I'm not going to be that much of a nerd. So we'll just set them on auto scout, so we'll immediately head over our planet here and start building some stuff, get some research going. So in this you've got two types of research. You have your civilian research and your military research. We'll go to our research tree and have a look at that first. So yeah, pretty much you get your military research all here, and it's broken up, so it is, in very nicely I must say, into your defensive systems, which does your hull plate, your armor, your
system detected.
There's a voiceover, your shields, and then it gives you a wee boost to maneuverability and your warp core as well. Tactical systems obviously is your weapons and your torpedoes, and then your ship designs, which allows you to unlock new ships as you go along. Orbital defenses, guys, are your colony defenses. So you get three types. So you do as the Federation. You have your phase turrets. So you have torpedo turrets and defense stations, which allow you to build wee fighter craft. You also later on manage to get an outpost. So you do, which you can upgrade. And further on down, you get a starbase as well. So you do, which is awesome, I have to admit. You see, when you get those starbases upgraded and online, they can take out fleets like mad. I actually used to have a very good, I played a game of this one day against the Borg, and I had one of those stations, and it held out the entire game against every Borg ship that was thrown at it. After that there, guys, you've got your civilian research, so you do, which is where you get all your economy from, your developments, and your culture as well. So it is, so economy, in this game, guys, you have credits, you have, tritium, so it is, or titanium, sorry, and you also had dilithium. Those are your three types of resources, so you do, in this game. These two over here is your fleet cap, so it is, so in this game you have a fleet supply, so you do, and then you have capital ship supply. Pretty much there's groups of ships, so they are, and they're broken down into fleet and capital ships. Capital ships obviously can take a lot of damage. They have a good number of hit points as well, so they do. Your fleet supply are smaller ships that can deal a lot of damage, but they are sufficiently weak, so they are. They're also very fast and maneuverable, which makes them good. After that, guys, you've got your diplomacy screens you do in your research area here. For the Federation, it's these three here, which upgrade your diplomacy. This here is all upgrades for your races, so they are, to make you more friendly with others around you, so they are. You can build wee envoy ships, so you can send them around the galaxy to upgrade your diplomacy as well. Diplomacy actually in this game, although I'm not a very diplomatic person when I come to play this. I love getting in and having massive fleet battles and stuff going. Diplomacy is very good, so it is. It can help you, so it can at the beginning of the game, definitely. This screen is pretty much your fleet supply. This is where you upgrade your ships. So the top one, I believe, yeah, the top one here is your capital ship production, so it is. So I can get all the way up to having 14 capital ships if I wanted. And your fleet supply has a maximum of 1,520. That does not mean, by the way, guys, that I can have 1,520 ships on this map, so it doesn't, plus my capital ships. Your ships range in size, so they do. Some will only take up, I think it's like 2 of your fleet, or of your ship capacity, so it is. Others, I think, take up 10 to 15 sometimes. So yeah, this one is just for things. There's artifacts on the planet, so there is. So this screen is where your artifacts go, which are upgrades for your planets later on in the game as you explore them. So yeah, let's get some research started, because I've left this game running now for a while I was explaining, and I should have actually built some stuff. So guys, I always go with planting a military research and a civilian research. Gives me a nice wee start after the game. I also go over my planet, and I usually go to this here, which is the planet government. So this governs this planet and this area of space that this planet is around. And I always go and upgrade my logistics development. So I do. Upgrading this, guys, allows me to build more stuff in this wee circle. So it does, and most importantly, it allows me to drop down another research station. So it does. Now, depending on how you want to play, you can either drop down another military or another civilian. Each one will allow you to do different things. Obviously, you drop down a civilian one. I'm actually going to pause this while I'm explaining this, guys. If you drop down a civilian one, you obviously then can upgrade your resources, how fast you get stuff, and it'll also allow you to unlock some new tiers for your colonization if you need it that early in the game. I usually like to wait until I've kind of scouted out the planets around me a wee bit before I start moving into tiers. But as you can see there, like, need tier 1 colonization to get that planet, so I do. So although I can go in and I can clear it out, I can't colonize it until I have that research. It's the same there, so it is, and it's not for that one, it's not for that one, yeah. So for those two planets, I can't actually colonize them until I get the tier 1 research. Doesn't seem that hard, guys, to get the tier 1 research, but I have played games before where I've started off and the first planet closest to me has been a tier 5 research, so it has, and I've had to like wait the entire game before I could actually colonize that planet. The tier 5 ones are usually the massive planets with loads of resources on them, so they are, which can be a bit of a buzzkill because you kind of fly past, you see this planet, massive planet, so it is loads of resources. First thing in the game, you're like, yes, I've got a really good planet, and then you realise tier 5. I can't even do anything with it, so I just have to wait. So anyway, moving on, I'm going to go straight for my military, so I am. I like to go military heavy at the beginning of the game. I find it's just a nice way to play, so it is. I am going to get a trade station, but I love picking those trade stations right at the beginning. And I'm going to save up because in this mod, guys, they've actually inputted kind of like hero vessels, I would call them, as such. They're pretty much main characters from the series and movies, guys, that they've put into the games so they have. And each of them has their own ship with a unique set of abilities on that ship so they have, which is really nice to see in this game. I have to admit, I really do love it. I love like getting each one of these wee captains and flying them around and pretending I have control over them and stuff, and it really does make me feel like I'm actually in this game playing sort of and overseeing an actual battle that's going on and using some of the tactics and stuff that I can use with them. But anyway, let's get a fleet on the go now. So the first capital ship I get as a Federation colony is this Ambassador class ship. So this one allows me to do colonization. Although I can't move my cursor, guys, I'm going to try and explain this really quickly. The green writing here is the abilities that this ship has. So it is. So this one is colonization, reinforced shields, extended warp field, and long range scanners. I'll explain those, guys, after the ship is built. I could go through them now telling you, but I'm not going to. That's your capital shipyard. You start off with one of those unless you change the settings in the game. And this is your frigate shipyard, so it is, where you can build all your smaller ships. Yeah, your smaller ships, which is this fleet supply I was talking about earlier, this is broken up into frigates and cruisers, so it is. Obviously frigates, they're smaller, faster, so they are, than cruisers, but cruisers have a lot more health to it than the frigates, and they deal more damage as well. Not as much, not mind you, as the capital ships, but they are very good in numbers. So for this, we're just going to build a few of these really quickly, so I can actually build loads of these, so I can. I've got a good wee bit of resources, so I've sitting talking, you see, it does good in this game sometimes. I'm just afraid I might be falling. I am falling a bit behind. You can already see I've scouted this guy kind of, so I have, and you can already see he's starting to branch out quickly. I haven't even built my fleet yet, so I haven't. So I'll have to wait for this to branch out, so I will. There's my wee ambassador. Look at that wee model. That is a beautiful model, so it is for this type of game, so it is. I have to admit. It is so good. Kudos to the developer, the developers of this game, and to the person who built these models. Excellent job, I have to admit. They have done an amazing job.
We await your command.
But as I was saying earlier, guys, about these abilities, pretty much your hero ships gain rank. All capital ships gain rank, so they do. For the majority of the capital ships, I find I usually have a way that I level them up, so I do. So I'll pick certain traits at certain times in the game to give them. With these hero ships, again, I have a pattern to give them, so I do. I have certain traits that I will give ships and that I will upgrade constantly on ships. For the beginner ship, I always go for colonization straight away. Saves me having to build a colony ship, so it does. Means that the flagship of my fleet right now has the ability to warp into a system, destroy the enemy, colonize that quickly, and move on. I'm not having to worry about bringing a fleet in, going back, grabbing a wee colony ship, and moving it up again. It means I can just go in, take the colony, move on. No hassle, no worries. Do it so fast, so I do.
We await your command.
That should be enough right there. 4 support ships and an ambassador class. That is enough, honestly, to start taking out ships. The others can just sit there and build so they can.
Adjusting coordinates.
So we'll move these over to the system. Put them on this here. That'll make them all fly at once. So they will. Pretty much whenever they get up to this warp line, they all travel at different speeds, obviously, so they do. These big ships, they are a bit slower, so it just means pretty much whenever these ships all get up to the border of this system, they have to wait for all the ships in the fleet before they can warp out. Does come in handy, although it doesn't seem like it now, guys. That comes in very handy later on. I've had a few occasions I forgot to do this, so I have. And I've ended up warping into the enemy system that is actually controlled by one of the computers. So it has massive fleet being there, all my wee ships warping at once, and I lose about half my fleet before my capital ships even get there. So we'll give him a wee bit of fighter support, so we'll. I've already done his upgrade. What's this? That's just a wee scout, nothing to worry about. We'll push out a few more ships, so we'll from here, just to get them on the move. And let's check out our research quickly. Yes, this is what I want. This is why I do two to my military research, guys. I was looking for my planet there to see what's going on about. I always do 2 to my military research. It allows me to get a second hero ship straight away, so it does. Also means I'm not having to pay the extortionate amount of money for the capital ships. Now, when I say extortionate, I mean they are a lot more than the frigates and cruisers, but they are very well balanced for this game. So they are. Just the beginning of the game, there's no way I'm going to be able to afford one, so I'm not. So I just like being able to call that ship in straight away, so I do. Turn these off. These are all set to auto spawn, so they are, guys. I hate having them on auto spawn. Auto spawn pretty much means they spawn in here. Later on in the game, it drives me insane if I've not turned these off, and I have my hero ships all spawning in down here, and yet I have a battle going on up here, so I do. It irritates me so much. Later on in the game, I can pick these and send them over to a certain system, so I can, as long as I control it. It is very good, so it is if you're getting attacked by an enemy fleet and you just pop in a hero ship pretty quickly, it can be a lifesaver, so it can. Those hero ships are extremely good, so they are. They can quickly save your butt, so they can, easily, in a fight.